Good day everyone, my full name is Tran Vu Lam. I'm from the 2 class and this video is for the midterm examinations. It's about presentations. So today's presentations is about gun control or firearm regulations. So what is gun control or firearm regulations? Gun control is the set of laws or policies that regulate the manufacture, sales, transfer, possessions, modifications, or the use of firearms by civilians. Most countries have restricted firearms gunning policies, with only a few legislations being categorized as permissive. Jurisdictions that regulate access to firearms typically restrict access only certain categories of firearms, and then to restrict the categories of persons will be granted a firearm license to have access to firearm. Firearm possessions has always been a very controversial issue in many parts of the world, especially in the United States, where there is a fierce debate between opponents and proponents of gun control. One group thinks that every citizen should have the right to possess a firearm, whereas the other group thinks that it is totally wrong for the citizens to possess firearms. In a recent research Gallup poll in 2017, gun owners state that they own firearms for the following reasons. The first reason is a protection against crimes, which is accounting for 60%. The second one is hunting, is 36%, and the last one is recreations or target shooting, which is the portions of 21%. Gun ownership is both a basic American right and one of the most contentious social and political issues of the day. There are about 300 million privately owned firearms in the US, which works to roughly one gun for every man, woman, and child in America, which nearly a third of the population owning at least one gun. Many of these firearms were bought with home protections in mind, which makes sense. In the right circumstance, a gun can be your first and most effective line of defense against intruders and criminals. So, what is the advantage and disadvantage of gun ownership? About the advantage, gun ownership is about a sense of security. For many gun owners, it's a simple calculus. Having guns give them at least a fighting chance in the event that a burglar or home invader manage to get in. And while indefinite numbers on frequency of defensive gun use in the US are hard to come by, they range from a low of 55,000 to a high of over 2 million per year. None of that will matter if you are one of thousands of American citizens who use a firearm in self-defense against a criminal or intruder each year. Fortunately, the criminals don't like fighting themselves on the business end of the gun barrel anymore than the rest of us do, which is why 74 of them actively try to avoid breaking into house when the owners are at home. In other words, just the fear of being shot is often enough to dissuade a criminal from targeting certain homes. In contrast, the disadvantage of gun ownership is that having a gun in the house makes living there statistically more dangerous. Guns can be discriminated between criminal and innocent bystander. Studies have shown that the intentional shooting are 4 times as common as occurrence of gun used in legitimate home defense situations. You would actually be more likely, statistically speaking, to shoot someone by accident than you are able to shoot a home invader. Having a gun in your house also increase your own chance of becoming the victim of a firearm related to homicide or suicide in your home. Researchers have found that this holds true regardless of the type of the gun you own, how you store it, or how many guns you own. And last but not least, if you have children, you should take into account how the presence of firearm in your home might affect their safety. Most gun-owning parents take precautions to keep their children from fighting and handling the firearms of family. However, despite these efforts, children often handle guns in the home without parents' knowledge. In one study, 22% of parents will believe that their children had never handled the guns in the home were contradicted by the children themselves. Furthermore, when a child or teenager is killed by a firearm, the gun that killed them comes from their own home fully 22% of the time. So what do you think about the gun control or firearm regulations? How do you think about gun ownership? Please let me know your opinions, and have a nice day. Thank you for listening.